is a totally different and new type of book for me. Inside, you're going to find pages from my personal art journals accompanied with inspirational prompts just to help get you thinking, to help get you feeling creative and writing a creative response. However, the paper is such that it will take, not all art supplies, it's not going to take lashings and lashings of water, but it is going to take just about a little touch of anything. So I've started working in mine. Think about how you can be a source of light to other people. So when I first started working on this myself, you sort of think, whoa, well, am I a source of light to other people? Sink into it. Just sink into that and start with one little point. You don't have to fill the page. I didn't. I started with actually just drawing a circle and thinking, how can I inspire other people? This can be your partner, your children, your parents, people at large, humanity, however big you want to take it. But it's just there as a little kindling, as a little start for you to think about what it is that you can do. So for me, writing books, things that I can do as an author, just from a personal point of view.
I also have my Facebook group, Jane Davenport Mixed Media, where we have creative prompts.
That's a way that I can help bring a source of light and joy and happiness to other people. And these are the things that I already do that do those things. And then they can help you look at what you do and think, yeah, I do shine. Maybe a bit more light than I thought I did. But you can be small, big, whatever you want. Here's the next one. Write a fairy tale in which you are the heroine. Update a classic or create your own. I actually didn't know what to write first, so I actually started with drawing eyes on here. And then this crown happened, and then the lines happened. And you can write a little story about yourself, but it's once upon a time, there was a woman, there was a girl, there was a princess, whatever. There was a swan. You may be the swan. It may not be about you. It's just a way of getting you to just jump into the present moment as a written response. And of course, you can add art to the pages. Some watercolour, not lashings and lashings of paint. The paper is not watercolour paper, it's just paper, and paper plus paint equals paper and water equals paper mache. I've got a pencil here. I'm just going to show you, of course, coloured pencil is going to be beautiful with this. This is one of my finishing line pens. Of course, this is going to be beautiful with pens. It's nice and smooth. This is my Epic pen from Japan. It's going to be wonderful. Glitzy marker. Awesome. The colour sticks. These are just different art supplies that I have that are all Jane Davenport ones. So if you didn't know that that's what I do as well, I design art supplies. So I can activate these with water, but I can also, oh, I've got a bit of paint or something else on my hand, don't I? Quite pretty. I can also smudge the paint out. I have my paint over pens. These are a paint pen, or even better, my story time paint markers. These are even a bit more opaque. And also just different colours. This is mermaid marker. Some of the mermaid marker colours might have a little bit of bleed through because they are quite intensely pigmented. So let's just have a look. But this is a dark page, so I need to put it here to see. So this is a colour called Seashell. I might go through. Oh no, it hasn't yet. So it just depends on the colour. Pigment and how much water you put on it to activate it, all that stuff. So this is going to go through, I think. But you might not really mind, you know, having it go through, but it's just a matter of playing. You might have a little test page in the back just to see what happens. So acrylic paint is a wet media. When you put it down, it dries permanent and dry, of course. But it could make the paper buckle, but it won't go through, won't bleed through. some acrylic on there as well. If you've got a lot of water in the brush though, when you apply it, that's going to soften the paper. So just be aware of that. Seriously, being an artist, it's the best. I love it. Let's put a little bit of, I did watercolour. We did watercolour there. Let's do some more. When is one little bit of, oh, I've got a bit of acrylic on there. Probably don't want to leave that on my watercolour for too long. But this is a nice start to a page. So you can turn this whole little book into an art journal just by testing which media is going to work in it. But it's not going to flow out across the paper like it would on a watercolour paper. So, you know, there are limitations. This is some of my palette pastels. Let's get this beautiful bright colours here. And I've got, where is she? Here is my batten blender. Let's put on a few little bright colours in here. So what will happen when you're putting the palette pastel, so it will stick on there, but see how there's a little bit of kickback? Because I've got more pastel on here than the paper can absorb in one little go, because this is smooth. Normally, you know, you wouldn't even use pastels on a smooth paper, but this formula is just so fine that you can do this. You don't even have to use much of a fixative. If you don't want to, I don't. But you are going to have this kickback. So what I would suggest is with a brush, just brush that off. Just brush it. And I've got other wet media on here, so of course that's going to... you can blow across it with your breath, but if you have any little spittles that come out, it might make a mark in your palette pastels. You can also, once that's dry, you can layer your art supplies one on top of the other, make new colour combinations. So it won't all come off, it's just a little bit will come off. I'm going to put a little bit of paint pen on the top of this. And then you've also got, this is pretty coloured background that you can create your prompt on, you can create your writing on. You might do an illustrative response, you might not even write anything. This could just be a prompt as to an illustrated or a art prompt, an art response. It doesn't have to be anything written. It's your journal. You can do what you want with it. You might even take the prompt out. You might paint over it with some gesso and just use this as a small art journal. There's plenty of room in here. You've got my artwork here to help guide you, help motivate you, help inspire you, or you can paint over it and use parts of it. However you want to use it, however it's going to best serve you, that's what we want. Oh, look how cute this is. How can you add more colour to your life? So these are things you probably wouldn't sit down and go from the front to the back cover. You might flip through and pick a prompt that appeals to you in the moment. It's for fun, it's for creativity, it's for exploration, and it's for inspiration. And it's just a really lovely little book that I hope that you enjoy.
And as something to travel with, it's just such a nice little size. The paper's that good quality. And it's got those prompts in there to help kickstart art. Again, and like I said, you can cover those prompts up. You can just use this like a little art journal. So I found this a really good little travel companion, fabulous little boredom buster, and a healthy, mindful way of spending some time in my own thoughts, writing and journaling. You can find Imagine Out Loud at all great bookstores, and you can get signed copies from janedavenport.com.